Hello, welcome to Where's BabZ? This is Barbara Talisman. Welcome to Wanderlust Chronicles with Randa and Mick as we talk about the real cost of cruising. And is it and can it be cheaper than staying at home when you're on the road full time? Our answer to that is yes, so I'll give that away, but I think you'll enjoy the conversation. Thanks for listening. Is your travel on the road in the caravan less expensive than overall how you lived when you had permanent home?
I did the figures with that, didn't I? So we sat down and we did the figures as we were, not prior, of course, because you've got to be in the moment doing it, as Mick just said, with the fuel aspects and so forth. And at the end of the day, it does, because when you are in those parks and national, the caravan parks and so forth, yes, you are paying per night and so forth. However, the cost of it, whether you're there for a few days, couple of weeks, whatever, is far less because you don't have all the utilities to pay for. You've got access to the showers,
power,
to the electricity, to their Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Interesting transition. Let's go back to the points for a minute. So did you guys get all the credit cards or one credit card that gets you points?
One credit card.
But it's earning you points.
Yeah.
It is earning points,
because then the other thing is, so, we've talked about traveling well for less, and yet we've all been on cruises.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how we love cruising, which can or cannot be the cheapest thing you've ever done. It completely depends on how you book and how you want to live on a cruise ship, how long and where you're going, right?
True.
And you're here with your daughter and son-in-law and your grandson. And it's just lovely. They're just a beautiful family.
Thank you.
But this, many people listening may think that cruising is for really old people, and I just discount that. I'm like, I don't really care about that conversation. But that it's very expensive.
Really? See?
Well, I mean, there is a thing in their head.
Let's put it in context. You get on a cruise ship, the only thing you ever have to think about is, and the biggest decision you make, is where are we going to eat?
And how many times?
Anytime you want.
Well, any time and how many times?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like your housework gets done for you. Your
toilets
laundry. Are cleaned. Your laundry. Well, we do our own laundry, but on this particular ship, the last ship we had
a package
where they did the laundry for us and had it delivered to our room, pressed, ironed, folded, everything. Yeah. It was great. And you don't have to lift a finger. There's people waiting on your hand and foot. So when you think of that, and all your meals, you can have as much as you want to eat. Yeah. If you get a drink package with your fare, which I think is well worth the money spent, you can just have whatever you want when you want. And it's just...
Now let's add to that and put it with figures so people really get to see how valuable it is.
I look at my monthly budget.
Yep.
And if this falls within or below a monthly budget, then I'm going cruising.
That's right.
Exactly.
So I'm more than comfortable to share what it cost an individual. So for myself, it in total, because we've got the complete package of Wi-Fi, drink up to 16 drinks.
So just to back up for a second, Princess offers. We're on a Princess cruise, and it offers a Premier Plus and a Premier package. Yep. And that becomes all inclusive around different packages around Wi-Fi, the level of drink package you have. Some include fitness. It all includes. Some include specialty dining and or. Any cruise you step on includes all your food, with exception. So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So, 12,500 for 40 days.
Yeah, 40 days.
Food,
and that's
the
Australian.
drinks that you stay, but that's also the excursions.
It's 12,500 Australian. Yeah.
That's right.
And so at the end of 40 days, 10, 12 excursions?
Per port.
Yeah.
Per port.
Yeah. So, because if we had one or two excursions and we had...
Yeah. I mean, we'd added an extra one at Kona. We hired the buggy as such, but that was our choice. We were able to. And that covers everything.
And that's for one person?
That's for one person.
Right.
40 days.
Right.
All expenses paid.
So you're not paying for food anymore.
No,
you're not paying for electricity. You're not paying for gasoline for the car or your home, wherever it is.
16 drinks,
you're not
so
paying
that's
for
juices,
Wi-Fi.
coffee, alcohol.
Right, exactly.
And excursions.
Right.
Now, the excursions are dear.
Yeah.
They really, really dear. So we've included them. And that was
so that's a month and a couple. A month and a week or so.
Yeah. So if you convert that to American dollars, what's that?
If we took 20% off of that, it'd be about 10 grand.
See,
10 grand for
40 days our cruise.
There's a young man in the States that I heard that he worked out how much it was going to cost him per month to live in an apartment somewhere in Texas.
Yes.
he found it was cheaper for him to live on a cruise ship than it was to live in his apartment.
Yeah.
Now, we do need to qualify this in some ways. So balcony cabins are more expensive than interior cabins.
Balcony.
Yeah, so because you can get upgraded, you can buy upgrades, you can decide what you want to do. And I think, for me, traveling well for less is a balcony on something of 30 days or more.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if I'm on a week, I don't really care.
Yeah,
but if you're crossing an ocean, I want to see that water.
Yeah.
Highly recommend a balcony cabin. They are just the best.
But again, if you want to do it on a lesser expense,
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you could probably do exactly what you did for half.
Yeah, I was just going to say 6,000, six and a half, and we looked at that, and it was like, you know what?
And then okay, so then you take out the traveling well for less experience level. Okay, so this is an experience, and so is being in a caravan, and so is me being on the road for 2 years.
That's
it's an experience. So
awesome.
which are timeless or more value, right?
Yeah.
So I had never seen Tahiti or Moorea.
Yeah,
I had been to
same.
New Zealand before. I had been to parts of Hawaii, but not to the Big Island.
Yeah.
So it's also taking you to places.
Oh, absolutely.
That you couldn't get your caravan to Tahiti.
Yeah.
Or you could probably get it to Auckland, but it cost you an arm and a leg to over to New Zealand.
Yeah, and probably about 6 weeks too. So
if you're going to travel, then you need to think it's not
comfort.
It's comfort, but it's also the experience that you're having, and
priceless.
that you can't put a price on it. Right? It's not priceless.
So true.
And the people you meet.
Oh,
yes,
the people you meet.
Like you, my love.
Yes,
this cruise has been awesome for both of us and meeting people. Me with the vet meetups, I've met a couple of really good blokes. If you're a vet listening, mate, these cruises, they look after the vets, so you can get discounts as a vet. As a veteran,
and that's true of every cruise line.
Yes,
it's true of.
They really.
We meet up and have a chat and chinwag and talk about what we're doing, helping other vets around the country. And a lot of the guys I talk to are doing something with the vets in their own country and helping them out. So it's really good to listen to the stories, and the vets know what I'm talking about. So.
And then you had a beautiful Anzac Day celebration
yes, we did,
on board.
So
it happened while we were sailing.
Yeah. So the day after we left Kona, we had Anzac Day, which was the 25th of April, and we just remembered our fallen soldiers, and it was just the ship put on a nice service for us. We were very fortunate that they could do that for us, and it meant
you
a
read
lot.
the odd.
Meant a lot to all of us.
And the captain was there.
Yeah,
and
Skipper
the
come down.
director was lovely. Yeah, they even went out and got one of the instrumentalists, and she played. Admittedly, it was the trumpet, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Generally, it's the bugle. But,
yes.
So that was really good. So it just made it all worthwhile, and very similar to what we do back in Australia and New Zealand. So it was great that we could be able to have that opportunity, because it is a big thing for Australia. Anzac Day, it's huge, and in New Zealand. And it's a massive day for everybody there. So,
No, it was. I found that the ship has done really lovely things on board, and recognizing people's birthdays and anniversaries and days of celebration and remembrance.
It was the same on our last cruise too. We were with another cruise line, Holland America Line, on our last cruise, and that was really good too. Same deal, vets. We met up. We met some really nice people on that cruise.
You end up finding your people somehow in this big ship. You find your people, which is wonderful.
Tribe.
Which is wonderful. And the complainers, what I've heard and I've adopted is, any day on a cruise ship is a good day. So why complain about anything? And it's true. And in Fortunate meter, we're at the 10 or 12 out of a scale of 1 to 10. Being able to travel in general. And then to be able to get on and off cruise ships, as we like.
The balance of life.
And I would say to people, don't knock it till you tried it.
Absolutely. And as far as the age category is concerned,
oh my gosh, it's so broad.
I took my children for their first cruise. It was a P&O cruise in 2007. Initially, I was just taking them. Children and I were going to go. I told one girlfriend, she went, I'm coming. So she brought her 2 children. I told another girlfriend, she brought her son. I told another one, she brought 3. There was 18 of us. And it was just the most amazing experience out. And at the end of the day, it's what you yourself make it.
That's right.
But they varied. I mean, my son was one of the youngest, so he was 9 or 10 at that stage. And he did his own thing. There's kids club available, so they can go off and do that. They've got the various activities if you want to partake. If you're a sporty, they got the dancing. They got us doing our own. It's
the kids club on board this ship is absolutely fantastic, and our little grandson, he's just absolutely loving it. He's just begging to go every time it's open. He can't wait to get up there.
Doesn't need the family so much.
No.
Oh, no. No, I want to go to kids club. It's like, and he's a little 5-year-old and he just loves it. But he's a little champion, that kid.
It's beautiful.
So.
It's beautiful. We want to bring the oldest grandson on board, and he's agreed to it now. He wants to have his birthday next year. Good. He's happy to do a few days, so that's great. Yes, introduce him to the cruising world. So all ages.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, or follow Barbara on Where's BabZ, the blog, or on YouTube. Love to hear your comments and questions and see how your traveling is going. Thanks for listening.